How's it going, Cancerian community? Soul Tiger is here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. First off, let me start this video by saying thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, with that being said, I want to let you know that this is a space here where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now, keep in mind, this is not Love Tarot. This channel is geared around self-empowerment, and what that means to me is us learning how to build the stepping stones to getting closer to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. Cancerian, let's talk about the vibe here. Last curtain call. Feeling like a final countdown. Anxieties are fueled by fear of loss. Could be losing something. May have the last of something happening. The thing is, Cancerian, is there's always going to be change, no matter what phase we are in our lives. Meaning change doesn't stop because we reach a certain age. A last curtain call can be a farewell, but at the same time, it could leave room for a new show to start. Something that brings in a new. With it brings chances and opportunities to do something different. No one is saying to go and change yourself, Cancerian, for the audience. That's not what's being expressed here. What could be being suggested here is being okay with putting to rest an old version of something. Whether it's a way of thinking, feeling, or even viewing yourself. You honestly do have the right to do something different. Something that you yourself has never seen from you before. Ooh-wee. What's going on here, Cancerian? What is it? I don't know. You went from a really big loss in this last story, or in the last story, to now we're having this putting to rest so that a newer version of you can come out. That's what I'm feeling like. Like you're getting ready to do crab's molt. Is that what it is when you shed your outer shell so that you can grow a little bit more? I know with others, crabs, hermit crabs I'm thinking of, they will change out shells, but I still think that the exoskeleton, because they are exoskeleton creatures, correct? So they have to molt in order to grow. I want to say, so this is something of like that. You're getting ready to shed an old version of you. That's if you choose. A lot of times when we go through really tough things, we will end up learning some really heavy emotional stuff in there. We could either leave it to where it leaves us stuck, or we end up growing. But some of us, we end up growing from it. We end up learning, so we end up molting. We end up changing. We end up stepping out of an older version of ourselves. Because again, we're walking with newer wisdom. So let's go ahead and take a dive into this introduction here. I'm fully intrigued with what's going to come out, because the vibe is it's like you've just faced a little bit of your shadow side. If you haven't, you could be getting ready to. So this is what's going to propel this growth here. And see, with the Cancerian, energy being the energy of the, the new moon. That is the energy of the south node. So that's usually our comfort zone. So where you were at before everything went to chaos was all your comfort zone. And then chaos happened and it pushed you outside your comfort zone. And so what we have here with the guides bringing out, it has to do with the door to romance. Maybe this romance is learning how to walk away from certain people, places, and or things that are no longer around anymore. Giving yourself permission to walk away and to still keep your heart uncaged. I mean, chaos happens in its own ways when we deal with loss. And sometimes, depending on what the loss is, we can end up with the closed heart chakra, where there's a lot of bitterness, where there could be even envy, there could be jealousy, there could be a lack of empathy, there could be holding grudges. And right here, whatever that chaos was about, they don't want you to walk away and just close yourself off from any other opportunities coming in. It could be you walking to uncage your own heart from what you just went through too when it came to this community. And as we talk about envy, we have envy. There's some kind of envy here that we're confused. This envy has to do with this community. We have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Ariel is all about nature, all about healing, all about being able to be grounded within ourselves. With this second chakra, this talks about healthy relationships, joy, passion, and creativity. But when we're at odds ends with it, when we have it out of balance, one of the biggest things here is we are afraid to face our fears. Let's see. Let me get one more card. What is the last card for the introduction? Something about facing these fears here. Rest and rejuvenate. Maybe being able to sit with yourself. Being able to be comfortable with whatever it is that we have to face, whatever it is that we have to walk away from, whatever it is that is a low vibrational kind of community, whether it's with people, places, and or things. Sometimes it's hard. It is really hard to function in areas where we can't be honest. We can't be honest with how we feel. Sometimes when it's chaos, you have to hold yourself back just to make it through with all these others, even though you feel a type of way too. Cancerians, not many people know this, but I've personally picked up on this with Cancerians, is that you really do hide how you feel from people. This is a thing that you're really, really good at. Not many people really know how you feel at the core with things. So my question to you is, do you know how you feel at the core when it comes to this community? When it comes to you loving yourself, your decisions, the loyalty to you versus should you? How much love do you give it? Do you give it all the love? Do you love it more than what you should love yourself type of thing when it comes to these other kind of communities that you're in, these other people that you deal with? Alright, so ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. What needs to come out For the present, Two of Pentacles, confused, juggling. Three of Cups again, communities, juggling, seeing things from a younger view, a younger emotional view that you have. But something has to do with deceit. Somebody here in this community is not being truthful about something, and you have an idea. You have an idea and you've been sitting with it. There's something here happening within this envy, within this very, I don't want to say very, very low vibrational to where I make them seem like they're ghetto, but I mean, you can have people be of a different class and still act ghetto. I'll just say that too. But there's something here. Something here that you've been stuck on. Something here that you're not understanding when it comes to the truth of things. Something that you go around in your thoughts. But how you're handling it, because it has to deal with these others, whether they're family, whether they're friends, whether they're co-workers that you've known for so long. But you're dealing with these others, and I don't think you're really celebrating like they're celebrating. You're not on the same level as them anymore, and you don't know how to juggle this. Your emotional side is reaching out to you, I feel like, with this Page of Cups here. What else needs to come out for the present? Yeah, so what lands on top of the Page of Cups and the Three of Cups? The Knight of Cups and the Six of Swords. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy moly. Well, this is a Cancerian energy if I ever felt one before. Holy moly. You don't feel it. But what I see is you're more emotionally mature than these others. Even though you're still stepping into this younger version of how you're handling it, you're confused on how you actually do come in with this Knight of Cups. You come in emotionally balanced. You come in ready to offer things. You come in ready to make things happen. And for some reason, I don't think these others are very receptive of that energy. But it's your emotions that drive you that I see with this Six of Swords here. Because the Six of Swords is going to like calmer waters. Again, dealing with a lot of water to here, but swords is thoughts, it's mind, it's mentality. But what I see is when you make decisions from your emotions, from your heart. You really fill out things before you make these decisions. But this is something that you feel like handicaps you when it comes to dealing with others, because others aren't this in touch with their emotions. They don't express this. But again, it's hard for you to process this. It's hard for you to be on your team with this in a sense, because you hold your emotions in. These people don't see it because, again, they don't know how you feel at the core. You feel all this, you see how you're doing it, but they don't understand it, again, because naturally you are withholding your emotions when it comes to dealing with deception. We'll say that if somebody rubs you wrong, you find out somebody is gossiping, you find out somebody's cheating somehow, some way, whether it's a spouse, on a test, on paperwork, whatever. And what you'll do is you'll play a bluffing hand. You won't have a big emotional reaction. In order to get a Cancerian to have a big emotional reaction is, one, they have to be heavily unevolved usually, Or two, they're really evolved and they're playing with you and they know how to do it. Or you have a set who's kind of stuck in between, where they put up like a resting, excuse my language, bitch face. It's resting, it doesn't show much emotions. At the same time, it's not going to show the pain, but it's not going to show how much that you're pissing them off either, kind of thing. And right here, how you see things, how you see yourself, how you see that you put on this act with others, in a sense, has you confused. It has you confused. It has them confused too on how much they can push you around. Because you don't give them the satisfaction of having this big emotional outburst. You don't act like them. And it could be like gossiping. It could be backstabbing. It could be doing little things to make someone's life more difficult. And because you don't do that, they don't know how to interpret. So sometimes when people do that, they want to see if they can use you as their doormat. But again, they're not as emotionally evolved. So they're kind of just like, they don't understand the bigger picture. That's what I can tell you. They don't understand how they're playing out their insecurities, all that stuff like that. You express yourself the way you do because, yes, you may have yourself and your emotions, withheld from others, but you understand yourself. That's interesting. So let's go ahead and see anything else needs to come out. All right. So 3 more cards. So you have made progress, even though you feel like since a young age people haven't understood you. You have made progress though, because you're coming in now as the evolved knight. You're not no longer the page when you make decisions. You're the knight. And so we have the World card here. World card represents Saturn, Capricorn energy. Talks about where we resist change. Resist change in this 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups talks about personal success. Then we have the 8 of Cups, personal success. We have 8 of Cups that talks about walking away. And then we have the Hangman energy. Hangman right here is going to be Pisces. So you have 2 Pisces cards here, putting an end. Actually, no, yeah, 2 Pisces card, a Scorpio card here as well. And then you have the Knight of Cups, the 3 of Cups, which is going to be your Cancerian. And then the Page represents all of them. The Knight represents all of them. You are in the water energy Cancerian. It's following the phases, honestly. That's interesting that the phase word came out in the vibe, but now it's making sense. Because I was like, do they mean like the different phases like of life through age? Like, how are we determining these different phases? So these different phases are determined by the different things that we go through with certain things. So the different phases that you've gone through has been since a child dealing with this kind of community, this kind of karma in a community. And you've progressed to where you've gotten a little bit more confident. You've made progress in the positions that you've worked, the positions that you played. You've always made sound decisions, like I said, but it's been sound based with the emotions too, backing it up. But there's here you resist change. And this change has to do with dealing with the past. The past karma coming up until now, into the same stuff. The things that you need to walk away from, certain energy types that you need to walk away from. the certain energy types that have been basically your kryptonite. With the hangman here, I say kryptonite because it comes down to what you believe. And these ones kind of rock your boat in the sense to where they make you retreat. You retreat back. You still feel like you are being viewed from this age. You know what? This makes a lot of sense. I'm actually trying to think of all my Cancerians that I've known at this time or throughout my life, and I'm trying to make sense how this fits into your energy and where I've seen this before. So I've actually seen this before with the Cancerian. This happened exactly with the community. When this community came around, the Cancerians stepped out of the personal power that they've gained throughout the years of being an adult and stepped back into the role they played as whichever sibling they were when it came to the number of siblings you have. And I say whatever sibling they were because you have the oldest, you have the middle, you have the youngest. For this person in particular, they had a lot of siblings, and they were close to one of the babies, if not the baby. And it was another person who highlighted this because I had experienced this the first time with them, where I didn't understand why their behavior changed when this community was around. And when I had talked to another person that was close to them, they verified basically that that person does it to them, and they were kind of like, holy crap, I can't believe that they seen this person act like that. Even with them, it was like, it was really astonishing. Like, I can't give out the titles and the exact relationships, but it really hit the person who was telling me this really at home in their heart. And I'm not gonna lie, it was very unusual. It was different. It was kind of awkward when I experienced this. So what's happening here is you are dealing with others. You're dealing with others that you've known for so long. These others, because you've known them for so long, they could expect you to behave a certain way. And if you don't behave a certain way, then they want to put you in the place of where your title is when it comes to whatever this community is. And that's really weird, because even throughout the years, your title has went from just being, say, a sibling, the baby of the bunch, to actually becoming a parent, becoming a successful career person, to even becoming an aunt, an uncle, maybe becoming some other kind of other title, official title and stuff like that. Like, you've really progressed through your life. But for some reason, when you get around these folks, you step back into that one role of whatever number you were in whatever this community is. I hope that makes sense. But that is what I'm picking up here. That's really interesting. I want one more card. Can I have one more card? Okay, one more card. For the present. Oh, we get 2 cards. That's interesting. 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords and the Queen. Maybe you were one of more of the passive people in this situation. Especially when it came to another who was operating in a Queen of Swords. In reverse. It's definitely my way or the highway. This is somebody who was drunk with power, drunk on the power of their position. It was one who was like I said, it's my way or the highway. This wasn't a very emotionally intelligent person, nor were they intellectual intelligent. They might have been really pretty, though. That's what I'm getting. Holy moly, that's a lot. Jeez. Wait for your guides to be really raw with it. Oh my gosh. So what I get with that is because they want to put you back in a position, you could be striking an insecurity of theirs through your successes that you've had. And this one, whoever this is that wants to be overburdening to you, they was too busy making choices where they ended up on their back or whatever. You take that how that goes. But yeah, whatever it is, they weren't making good choices for themselves. And so from then until now, they are envious of you and what you created. That's what I'm getting from this. Just know that. Just know that your guiding energies put that out there. If you've asked, if you wondered why it is whoever this is that you've known for a long time that really comes in and tries to power trip on you, what the exact problem is it has to do with their envy for you, your success. This person, what I'm seeing is they actually could be one of your friends on a social media app. Could be on multiple social media apps. It could be somebody who watches your stories a lot too. That's what I keep seeing, is they really, really watch the things that you post on your stories when it comes to your personal successes, and it could directly have to do with your career. Alright, so angels of protection, please help, guide, and protect us as we navigate Cancerian's block. You just want to be fair with everybody. You don't want to be the problem child. You want to show everybody how you've grown up, how you've elevated, how you overcame things. You want to show them how you can sit at the tables that they're sitting at too, now that you're not the baby anymore, so to say. That you're not this young one anymore, that you've grown, you've learned. You've learned a lot. Learned a lot of different truths in life. Stuff that came at the experiences of getting hung up. Experiences where you had to break down your own barriers. You had to open things. You had to turn on the light to things. You had to make the movement. You were facing a lot of fears yourself. That's what I get. Whereas this person was living their fears through lust, you decided to go and challenge the barriers. Open the doors that were locked or that were perceived that were supposed to be locked to you. You didn't let confusion. That's one thing, is you didn't let your confusion on your beliefs stop you. So it could have been like a generational thing. So this will happen a lot within families. You'll find the families that do generations of certain kind of job. Like you'll have 3 generations of people working in law enforcement, 3 or plus generations of families being in the military kind of things, families being in law enforcement. Those are just examples. You can see that with the medical field when it comes to certain families who were really geared in the medical field. So right here, you broke a barrier that went against what the social standards were for maybe your family, for you, for the community that you come from. That's what I'm getting. You created movement in the night of the shadow side to get to where you found fairness, to where you could provide for yourself and others. I say you made the movement in the shadow side because look at all that darkness right there. That was facing fears right there. And this person didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. They, what is it? They fed the stigma. They became the, what is it? They became the, what is it? The demograph. The demograph that has to do, there's a certain word that I'm looking for. And what it is a certain, I want to say social standards, but it's not that. It has to do with, when you look at a family and you look at the level of the education of the parents, you look at the success of the career with the parents, and what you do is you start to build up a social, what is it, kind of like a map of what the kids can do. You know, where were the parents from, what side of the tracks, you know, what was provided for the kids when it came to education, was it basic and stuff like that. And you could build up a certain outlook of predictions on where the generations are going to go with it. And what I'm getting with this is you reached outside of that. You didn't follow the blueprint of what was the standard or what was the stigma that you were supposed to go to. The normal thing for you. You went past that, and you proved that no matter what side of the tracks you came from, you were going to do something different. That's what I get with this. The Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is not a very giving person. Queen of Pentacles is pretty greedy, pretty focused on her. So why is this Queen of Pentacles coming here? Why are you having a struggle with the Queen of Pentacles? You're struggling with the Queen of Pentacles and your wish fulfillment. Your star energy. How to feel, how to think. I don't think that the Cancerian here has mental illness, because when the stars are in reverse, that has to deal with mental illness. The star represents Aquarius. Aquarius is all about your authentic self. The house of Aquarius, your 11th house, is social aspirations, ideas, and reform. Aquarius is always talking about your authentic self. It's also Uranus, and it shows us an area of life where one can express originality as well as anticipate sudden dramatic changes. And a lot of times we have to experience dramatic changes to get us closer to our authentic self. So for some reason, I don't know what's happening, but you got somebody here, you got yourself feeling a little greedy for doing something different, for you reaching for the gold, for you going towards the gold. Don't let these haters twist you up. Don't let these jelly bellies try and make you feel bad for you trying to do you. Oh, you wasn't around that much because you was too busy doing this. I was too busy providing for my family. I was too busy trying to make a future. I don't know what kind of conversations you facing, but Seven of Swords here. Whatever it is, they want you stuck. They want you in a barrier. They don't want you to see that you have this wisdom that you've been gaining all along. We have this 8. 8 of Wands there. High Priestess, Moon energy, but also we have Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces talks about what we believe, our mysticism, our transcendence energy. What they're trying to call into question, whoever this is they want to make you feel a type of way again for following what you needed to follow, for going and getting your success, trying to be successful, trying to build up things that were going to maybe provide for others. Maybe you wanted a different way to provide for others here. You didn't, again, want to do something that was the same. You wanted to beat whatever stigma, whatever social standard, whatever was the lane that you were supposed to stay in. You didn't. You found success. But you got somebody here trying to make you feel the worst about it. They Jelly Belly. Why do you care about Jelly Belly so much? Strength. Falls out onto this Knight. Usually with the Strength card, you got the Empress. The Empress is holding on to could be the Leo, the Lion. In another deck, it's a Tiger. But somebody holding on to another thing to control it. One thing that's at the bottom of the deck, it's a Two of Cups. This talks about partnerships. This is an unaligned kind of thing here. So what it is certain energies can get a hold of you. Just like you get a hold of things, there's certain energies of the past, especially when it comes to this Queen. This Queen of Swords energy, where they're a little bit of a smart ass. They always got something to say about your business kind of thing. And this person's just been really good with their tongue. Literally. Hasn't done much in life, but really worked that tongue, jaw, whatever. And they're hating. They're hating. And they've hated on you ever since a younger age. And that came out with the Six of Cups, I believe. And you know what? You doing something more, just really, it agitated them more. So they're going to try and treat you like what they've done before. And what I'm hearing is to say, y'all have seen that one TV show or the movie scene where the bully comes back 20, 30 some years later, and that person has to face their bully. And we all know the scene where they don't face their bully, and they are a grown adult letting this person talk down to them because they are repeating a pattern that they did as a child. This is this kind of situation here. Think about those scenes. Think about how they made you feel, because they most likely struck some kind of thing within you. How can you do something different? How can you see your wisdom? How can you see that you're well read up, that you've worked hard for the position that you're in now? How can you, frame it and hang it on the wall for everyone to see? For you to be proud of everyone seeing what you were successful at. I'm not saying you take this person and you rub their nose in it. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that you can handle this differently. You can do something so different that they couldn't hold a candle in the wind when it comes to trying to do something about it. When they want to mention something, take pride in it. Take humor in it. I'm not saying show off. That's not what I'm saying. But there's ways. there is ways not to let people bully you, and that you can get your point across. I know I've had situations where people think that they're really trying to say something to me because they want to knock me off in my feelings. Lo and behold, I fully agree with what they're saying. You is so right. Adios. It's time for me to go. When you agree with them, then guess what? They can't bully you no more. They can't take your personal power. So there's something here. I'm not saying you gotta play for eye, foot for a foot, tooth for a tooth. But you're smart and you have built. You've reached to your wish fulfillment. You've came far and you've been able to provide for others on what you're doing. You have so many accomplishments to be proud of. Don't forget that. When you're walking through your home, take a long look at the photos. All the photos of the years that have passed by. Think about all the trials, tribulations, lessons, all that stuff that you've gone through to get from where you were once before, when y'all was starting from the same kind of beginning, to where you are now. Look at the choices you could have made with this bird head boo, but you didn't. Even though y'all came from the same side of the tracks, could have been even the same home, you chose different. Be proud. And don't let anybody take that away from you. Let them be a smartass. Let them look stupid. That's on them. But what you have is the success that you've been building. And nobody can take that away from you. Don't forget that. Alright, let's go ahead and go into the conclusion. People act funny like that. I'm not gonna lie. People be acting funny. Family be acting funny. People be trying to make you feel a certain way because they couldn't do what you did. Even though they had the choices. But what they don't know is they holding themselves back with that type of thinking. With that type of closed heart, they holding themselves back from even appreciating themselves. Why are you going to let somebody who can't even appreciate themselves bring you down? That don't make no sense. Think about that one too. Alright, so divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come in for the positive messages for the Cancerian frequency? Alright, patience. Patience is always a virtue here. So when it comes to dealing with this hot mess of an individual versus them trying to keep you in some kind of little barrier, put you back in the place you were once before, and you being proud of your accomplishments. We have, no matter how much work you have, if you work hard, you will get it done anyways. Think about all those accomplishments. Think about all the stuff that you've done. Think about the ones that are there for you, who have supported you. This person doesn't matter when it comes down to it, because this person doesn't sit next to you and support you. This person's opinion isn't even none of your business, honestly. Ain't nobody's opinions our business, because it doesn't do nothing for us in a sense. Yeah, it can make us feel good or it can make us feel like crap, but it still doesn't bring any more individualism to ourselves. So right here, right now, really look at the things that you have accomplished. Look at the things that you've been frustrated over, that you've never gave up on, and that you kept working towards. Because this person gave up on a lot of things in life. You probably could have known some stuff that they started, some classes that they were attending and they never finished type of thing. So right here we have no one can tell how tomorrow will be. You know what? This person can get to you is because you care. You care. And this is where it's important that the whole trying to match eye for eye, tooth for tooth kind of thing isn't going to work here. Because at the end of the day, you grew up with this person. For some reason, you've known this person for a very long amount of time. Could have even grown up with them, say, because you were around them for 10 years in a work environment. Anyways, so when it comes down to it, minus their little attitude, minus the song or the beat they like to walk their life to, the only reason why they can get to you is because you care. Maybe at one time you looked up to them. Maybe deep down you wish things were different between you and them. So when you face this of stepping into your personal power, the reason why they don't want you to match eye for an eye, because they don't want you to handle this situation with a closed heart chakra. They want you to do it with an opened, with a balanced heart chakra of love, compassion, harmony, emotional balance, and forgiveness. Because at the end of the day, this person has mattered to you. What they think matters to you. And you know what? This person may not know that they did something back in the day that sparked your interest for something. I don't know. There could have been something that they did that inspired you in a certain way with a certain decision that you made something. I don't know. But there's something there. When you discover what it is, maybe you and them can have a good heart-to-heart conversation. That's what I get. Because you know what? This person feels insecure because they think that you're probably judging them. They think others probably judge them for the choices that they make. I was speaking with a Libra today, and this Libra has a lot of social anxiety. This Libra feels like a lot of people are judging them when it comes to the places that they go to, with the communities that they are around. So just know that if this person's reactive, they're reactive for a reason, and there's some kind of insecurity there. So what we have here is be patient and always remind yourself that the goal is yet so far. It takes work to see yourself differently. It takes work to have others who want to see you only in a certain way see you differently. But it's led through your example of how you work it. Just know that it isn't you sitting back and just saying, putting some stuff on social media. No, it's all about the things that you've done, the things that you still do kind of thing, that taking action and continuing to take action to your goals, continuing to stay, even what I'm hearing is inspired in the conversations, especially around this one or any others, to stay focused on what the goals are and not like trying to go eye for eye and make this person feel like crap because they made shitty decisions. I'm just gonna throw that in there because let me tell you, Cancerians, y'all are funny because y'all can be really laid back. You can hold back a lot. But man, when y'all finally get fed up and you got something to say, ooh, do them pictures come out and do you get a hold of somebody and do they feel it? Just know that I know that about y'all. I've seen it. I think it's actually really cute when Cancers do that. I'm not gonna lie. Believe that it's real. Your accomplishments are real. What you've built is real. How you were able to make it, even though, say, you didn't have the best first starts, the highest educations, you were still able to do it. You know, at one time before college was pushed so much, I remember, what was it, 30 years back, maybe, that it wasn't that you had to have a degree. It was experience. People wanted the people with experience. Degree didn't mean nothing unless you have the experience. Now it's ass backwards, where it's the degree that matters, and, you know, regardless of all your experience. But this is what the divine wants you to see, is all of your experience, and how it took all of your experience to get to where you're at. Believing in the mountains, in the mountains that you've had to climb, the valleys that you had to go through, you know, the different rivers, lakes, oceans that you've crossed on this journey in life to get to where you're at. And those are metaphoric oceans, metaphoric valleys. It's all talking about the inner turmoil and the stuff that we take on our journey. So let's see, we have, all right, so look carefully. Loneliness is also beautiful. Look carefully. Silence is beautiful too. I really feel like you don't have to have the last word here. I feel like even just being able to sit back and let others do their thing could be the biggest move that you make. They say the dogs with the loudest bark don't always have the worst bite. Here, it takes a certain confidence not having to flex things to make other people feel insecure. It takes a certain kind of humbleness to know that you're okay on your journey and you don't have to be the loudest in the room about it either. Remember, this one's loud because they're insecure. They want you to be able to have confidence but not let it go to your head, kind of thing. That's cute. That's cute how they want you to handle this, because they don't want you to have a pissing contest. That's what I'm getting. Alright, so let dreams take you away. You still have stuff to do. I think you still have time with this one. If you dream about maybe having a better relationship with this one, it could be something that could happen if we have this heartfelt conversation. Or maybe it's the fact that you're going to have a better relationship with yourself. So, you know what? Nobody else is going to matter. Honestly, their opinions aren't going to matter, because you're going to be focused. Focused on where you're going. Focused on where you're being pulled to. Focused on continuing to succeed. No matter what happens, smiles are still important. You know what? You can keep their misery company, or you can be happy. You can see what's actually going on here. Cancerian, I say this because you are a water sign. You are really, really good at reading between the lines and reading between other people's lines. And one of the things about the new moon, full moon here is you have to learn how to read between your lines. Knowing that when people make you upset and you want to reflect that onto your vessel, that's going to affect you. These people are making you upset, but you can't be honest with them, but you're going to take these frustrations out on your day. Again, that vibration is still being withheld in you. How can you stop holding yourself back from these emotions? Stop holding yourself back from the things that are bothering you, and learn how to process it and build a stronger emotional foundation for yourself, especially how you see yourself come in. That's one of the most important things here. And this person has been sent. They've been sent in to test you. This has been an ongoing test for you for a while, since you were young. And if you're ready, you can face this type of fear of whatever it is with this person. I don't know if you're afraid of their opinion. Again, if it's because you looked up to them at one point when you were really young because they were older than you. But the whole thing is, things have changed. Things have changed. If you go check out my new moon in Cancer and my full moon in Capricorn, it talks about how we have to confront the self-sacrificing energies to appease others, and be able to get in touch with ourselves, be able to actually open up to our emotions, be able to work on something different to build a different kind of wealth, that more ideal kind of wealth. And the wealth here that you want, that you need, is the wealth of how you come in with yourself, giving yourself permission to do something different with yourself. And that's not changing yourself on this exterior part, but being okay with communicating with yourself on the interior part, interlacing these inner beings, your emotional being with your mental being, and letting them harmonize together, being able to see your success and be able to be proud of your success, but being at home with the success in the mind so that you really feel it in your emotions as well. So when these people try to rock your boat with the things that they're saying, that's gonna be like, what is that? I'm hearing that you are, what is that? I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off to me and sticks to you, kind of thing. The things that they throw out there for me to put in the stories is funny. But it's kind of like that concept. You're allowed to come in differently. You're allowed to be seen differently. And it's not to appease the audience. It's to help you truly express your authentic you. So go check out that new moon, full moon interpretation to get a more in-depth view of the challenges that we're facing with our emotional side this time. And this is going to conclude it. So thank you so much, Cancerian energy, for hanging out. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out with all these positive messages. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.